Well, it's kind of like hare's ears in general. That's kind of super hare's ear then.
Yeah. Okay. The next fly we're going to tie is called a fuzzy maggot. We're going to use the brown thread, and we're going to use the same hook as we did the first time, the Tiemco $200 size 16. And I tie this thing up to a 14 and a 12. And we're going to run that right on out there to where we're right at the end of the hook, just like that. We'll get rid of that. See, I got a pair of scissors here somewhere.
Oh, you laid them over here. Those are his.
There they
are.
go.
Yeah.
I'm going to need those in a little while. Okay, then the next step we're going to do is we're going to tie in our wire. This wire has a very important function in this. It's going to make this fly tougher than the dickens when we're finished. So we'll get that tied in there. Nice, good. There we go. Now we're going to go back up here, and we're going to tie in a shell back. Okay, and I got one laying here somewhere, I thought. Okay, about 4 or 5 strips. All this is cinnamon turkey tail. It isn't
I heard
magic.
someone ask the question, do you treat it?
No,
Okay.
I didn't do anything to it. That's just like it came from the turkey. A friend of mine is a taxidermist, and it didn't turn out, and so I clipped all the wing feathers and the tail feathers, and I have them for tying material. Okay, we're going to take and we're going to tie this thing. You want the shiny side down, because we want that shell back to stick up on top. And we're going to wrap that in there, and we're going to tie that in there really good and tight. And you want to keep it on top if at all possible. Sometimes fun. Now we get to the hard part. We're going to do a whole bunch of dubbing in a hurry here.
Shiny side down.
Shiny side down, because then when you wrap this, we're going to wrap this up and over, and when you do that, then the shiny side will be up. Okay, so we're going to take a bunch of yellow dubbing here, and this one I do tend to dub a little heavier than what you've seen me dubbing before, because it isn't called a fuzzy maggot for nothing.
All right, so you're dubbing with frog's hair, which is a very fine dubbing.
No, this is hairline yellow. I just brought the frog's hair because I didn't have enough. I was worried about having enough hairline, and it will work. But this is a. See, I'm really. You haven't seen me dub this heavy, have you? Okay, we're going to take and bring this down here, and we're going to make it a nice, fat little body here. Just like so. Going to need a little bit more. Nope, that's about right. Okay, then the next step is you're going to bring this shell back right up and over the top like this.
Okay.
And how many strands was that?
Keep it right on top and tie that off. Put about 3 wraps on it, nice and tight.
And you're right at the back of the eye of the hook.
Yeah, you got to have a hackle in here yet, so you want to leave yourself enough room to get a hackle on there, okay? Now, that in itself is kind of fragile. So our next step is this wire is going to come up and around and up and over the top. And you want to keep your shell back on there nice and straight. Pull your wire snug. And we're going to make about 3 wraps there on a 16 is all we're going to do. And we're going to tie that off. This is another, most soft hackles are really fairly easy to tie. You just did one of the harder ones. Then we got a brown hen hackle, and I'm going to prep it just like we did before on the hackles. Okay, I stripped it on one side, and we're going to take this in there, and we're going to tie this thing in.
Now, it seems to have a lot more hackle than just the from the eye to the point that you had on that first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to leave a lot on that one side.
Well, this one, the feathers get a little small towards the end. What I'm looking for is the length of the hackle. You want the hackle length about the length of the hook. We got that tied in. We're going to tie that off and get that fuzz out of there. We're going to take, and this You don't want a real heavy hackle either. It's a typical soft hackle in that it's a fairly light, and you can see it's starting to spread out there. These are a little tougher too than the Hungarian partridge hackle. And we're going to go see how it's starting to come around now. There, they're starting. You can flip your finger with them on that. And then we're going to take
Is each rep in front of the last or behind?
in front.
Okay.
And then tie that off. And then we're going to take and clip that.
Where would you fish a Magot?
I fish it on the Yellowstone. You start tying this thing in a 12 and a 14, or you can even tie it in a 10. And I think it works for a drowned grasshopper because it really works well in July and August when the hoppers are out. And then just put a whip finish on it. Now, this is another one of those, soft hackles are incredibly easy to tie once you get used to handling the delicacy of these are whiting hen hackles. Their quills are a lot tougher than a hun, or rough grouse is pretty tender. Quail are really tender little characters, but they have some great, and that is a fuzzy maggot. It's a good fly. It works really well. Leave those fuzzies out there for the most part. Any questions about a fuzzy maggot? Fish it like you do any soft hackle. Fun fly to tie, too.
So yeah, they could take it for any number of things.
Yeah,
Could even be a stonefly,
yeah,
small stonefly.
yeah. Especially a small yellow stonefly.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when it's freshly molted and is all light in color.